Hang on. So, new kill team set already? And then they're doing a new Warcry set already? What are they thinking? Why so many games so fast? This is man in a bath. What is going on? So, what could be happening with Games Workshop? Now we can guess and we can have ideas. Are they going bust? Are they going to sell up? Now, I was thinking about this. Do they sell up? Or what are they doing? I just don't get it. It's crazy. The release schedule is just insane. I'm like nearly 50 and I can't even keep up. Man, I can't keep up anything these days. Anyway, what are they thinking? So, if they're going to be selling off, I can't see how and why, because they are one of the biggest wargaming companies currently out there. Hasbro is losing huge chunks of money at the moment, with probably one of the largest IPs going. You know, Wizards of the Coast, huge, and they're struggling. So who's going to want to buy Games Workshop? None that can afford Games Workshop. Is it being invested in for a share price? Are they trying to share like maximum profits for a year, or maximum share dividends? Are they trying to change their stock profile? Are they gonna, I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna create too many SKU codes, too many codes, too many products to keep ahead of and keep in stock. Yeah, crazy. I just don't get it. They kind of got their stores down to one-man stores, which I never agreed with. I worked for Games Workshop in the early 2000s, and we had, God, yeah, going back now, in a very, very small store in Leeds. It's closed now, unfortunately, the White Rose Centre. We had manager, me, Neil, Christopher, I think it was Rob. That's at least 5 people I can think of top of my head that we had working there. There might even be another guy. But anyway, if you're the other guy, I do apologise, I forgot you. It's like 20 years ago, God's sakes. But you know, we had all those members of staff for what is probably a shot the size of your bathroom. You know, and that's what we did. And like the store in the city centre, probably the same with a few extra key timers. So yeah, the one store shop thingy just, it's not needed. But anyway, they from the bottom end, they kind of dug a hole, making it a lot harder for the stores to be open 7 days a week, which they're not now. A lot of them are closed for 2 days a week, or right, especially apart from around Christmas, where a lot of the one-man stores get an extra member of staff in. But it's a lot of, you know, if the manager is ill, it's a lot of organising, getting someone down to that store, because, well, it's like when let's go back to I was working in Leeds. One of the stores had someone off sick, and they didn't have enough staffing for that day. So what do? They pulled in a load of key timers. It's fine, but they're not guaranteed to be there. And I travelled down from Leeds to Sheffield to cover the store. And you know, we had that ability because we had the extra people to do that, to move around and to get them done. And I did. To be fair, I drove down there, parked up, went in, said hello, and I saw around. And I go, "You got enough staff today, have you?" They were like, "Yeah." And I kind of went back up to Leeds, so a bit of a wasted journey, but I'm one of the few that could drive. So it was, yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? You know, mistakes are made. But nice little jolly for me. Never been there before. But yeah, it just seems a bit mad. I was in Germany, oh God, now pre-COVID basically, and I popped into a Games Workshop store in, I'm trying to know the name of the city now, I think it was Stuttgart, and the staff were absolutely fluent amazing, bloody amazing staff. They were quite happy to try their English with me, which was good, because I don't speak a word of German. But they had more than one member of staff in there. And yet in the UK, one member of staff. It's just one member. It's not right. If you've got a member of staff working on their own in a store and they have an accident or a situation, what are they going to do? You know, they've got to close up the shop, maybe, you know, or you have to anyway, but you've got to close up the shop. But then if you've got to try and call the police or security or whatever and try and keep a shoplifter at bay, I guess they just let them go away now, don't they? Just say, just go, take it. It's not worth the trainer rubber. But yeah, it's just situations like that, or if someone falls down the stairs going down to the stockroom for some of the stores, which have the stockrooms downstairs, for example. So one of the, you know, pull the shops open, one of the members of staff falls down the stairs, no one's going to know for quite a long time. And if they do, they're probably going to phone up another store and say, we can't get into the store, the shutters are open, the doors are closed, but there's nobody there. You know, there might be a bit of a ring round, and someone might go down to the store to try and find out. But again, health and safety, out the window, totally out the window. One-man stores really, I'm surprised nothing big and dangerous has happened so far. But anyway, so that's them saving money on the bottom end. I mean, they didn't like go one-man store and give everyone like 5 times the wage, did they? No. Wages probably stayed the same. So, what are they up to? Because they've got these huge amounts of releases coming out. It's not to support the retail staff. And yet, you go to the head office and there's a lot of redundant jobs there. A lot of jobs that probably don't need to be done, or probably don't need those extra people for. You need your extra people on the front line, not a head office. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And they're not even paid that great at head office neither, not even the top people. I mean, to be fair, you know, a lot of the top people are doing it for the love of the company, the love of the product, the love of the IP. They're not doing it for the love of the money, apart from maybe the CEOs and the board of directors. And I think they're the ones that are pushing the prices up. They don't love the product, they don't love the customer, they don't love the IP. They're just trying to strangle the money out of it. That's what I feel anyway. And this constant just producing stuff. And the thing is, plastics is not cheap to produce. Well, plastics is cheap to produce, but it's the tooling isn't cheap. Now, tooling's got a lot cheaper, admittedly, but still, you're looking at, you get your tooling done, and then you produce your sprues, and you sell your sprues, and you make your money, and slowly you make your money back on your tooling. But if you do a limited run of 2 months of a product, and then it's gone, no more, that sprue that you saw is gone, not going to be seen again for another couple of years when they produce like maybe an army box with it in, and that's not going to happen in all cases. That's wasted money. That's money that they could be putting back into the tooling of something else. Yeah, they've made the money back probably on the tooling, they made a bit of profit, but if they sold it for less, they would have sold more product, they could sell it for longer. And yeah, it's just, they could get their tooling a bit more cost effective. I just don't get it. Maybe I'm old. I'm only 50. You know, like I say, in the early 2000s, we're talking like incredibly close to 1999. I was working for Games Workshop. Jesus, I could buy metal. Well, it wasn't even metal, it was just do an order, and you ordered what you wanted, and they'd weigh it, and if it weighed, for each kilo or part of it weighed, 10 quid, pretty much. I don't know how exactly they worked it out, but it was like 10 quid. A friend of mine just bought an entire army. like in plastics and stuff, and it hardly cost them anything. You'd like just order the riders, and you got the horses for free because they're classed as bases, because the bases were free. It was mad. It was but it was, you felt valued as you were kind of valued, as valued as you can feel as a member of staff for a company. You felt valued. You know, you're on low wages, but you felt valued that you could get this stuff at 50% off in the shop, or you could order it online at £10 a kilo. Great. It was awesome. I had so much rubbish and crap. When I left the company, I lived for about 2 years off just selling the stuff I bought. But yeah, just what are they doing? I know if they want to make it a premium product, I understand that. But you can have premium product, yes, but why not have a premium line? Like, hey, do you know what? We're going to do game as our premium line, say Horus Heresy, for example. Yeah, do some amazing models, get some amazing history into it, get some amazing fluff into it. 40k, not so much, and you can probably just put a little bit less effort into some of the models, maybe, or do like a sub range of the models, which they kind of do. The original sort of £6, £5 box sets, and that's what we want. I went into a model shop, looking at the Games Workshop stuff, and I was like, you know what, I might just pick up a £5 box set or something, or maybe sort of £6, £7, just for inflation. There's nothing there. There was nothing there just to pick up and give to my son with some of my brushes and paints, and let him get introduced into the hobby. I had to spend like at least 20 odd quid. That's not on. Parents can't afford to just give, well, we can anyway, just afford to give their kids 20 quid to blow on some models which they might not even paint or build or make a complete mess of. You want to give your kid like a fiver and watch them have some fun with it and not be worried about, you know, pissing money down the drain. Yeah, so Games Workshop, just please, just do, I know it sounds awful, it sounds bad worded, but a sub-range or something, I don't know, a range of models which we know you can do it because Imperium magazine comes out every week, $8.99. Still think that's too much, but you get a magazine, and paper's not easy. Paper's not easy, and you know it's not cheap to print paper, to be fair, compared to model plastics. There's quite a lot goes into it compared to plastics, to be fair. The publishing of a magazine, but yeah, just why not do like back in the day? So Games Workshop are doing this thing at the moment where you come in every month, have a model, build it in the shop, paint it, go home. Well, why not just slap that model, in some cases, straight on the front of a White Dwarf magazine? Someone goes in, buys the magazine, gets a free figure. Awesome. They've just suddenly bought a magazine, so they got all the fluff and the adverts that they need for stuff that's available, or what the games are about and stuff, things to read and look at, and pretty pictures to paint to. And then you get a model on the front, and maybe there's a paint guy inside, which effectively sells paints for Games Workshop. They've got an entire business model just sat there waiting, and they're not taking advantage of it. Who's running Games Workshop? What are they thinking? Are they just thinking money, 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 profit, profit, profit? Not thinking growth. Growth. We want, I shouldn't say growth while sitting in a bath, should I? That just comes over so wrong. And it's getting cold. But that means I don't yap for too long. So yes, anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Yes, what do you think? What the hell is Games Workshop up to? Are they trying to go bust? Are they trying to just appease shareholders? Are they trying to sell the company to somebody else? Have they just completely lost the plot? Are they missing out on some huge investment possibilities? Tell me. This is Matt in the Bath. Till next time, game on.